Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. We're going to be showing you how you can use AI to build and manage cloud native apps faster with Cosmos DB. So my name's Meredith Moore. I work on the Azure Cosmos DB team, and I'll be presenting with you with Jasmine. Jasmine, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, thanks Meredith. Hi, I'm Jasmine Greenaway. I'm on the cloud advocacy team focused on data.
Thanks. So as I mentioned, we'll be showing you how you can manage your apps easy with Azure Cosmos DB. But before we embark on this journey of cosmic data, AI, and queries, I first need to introduce you to the real star teammates here today. This is Toby and Q. Toby and Q are our cats. We are their #1 employees, but they're also the visionaries behind Per Luxury, an online customizable cat furniture store. Jasmine and I created this store for this demo today, and it's powered by Cosmos DB. Its launch 1 year ago has been turning heads. And recently, this store has introduced an AR feature, which allows for in-home product visualization. So as I mentioned, today we'll be going through how you can manage your app super easy with Azure Cosmos DB. So we'll be showing you how you can change your capacity mode. And this is a new feature that we introduced at Build this year in 2024. We'll be showing you how you can evolve your data model, no downtime required. We'll use Query Advisor to write NoSQL queries using natural language, fetching the AR-compatible products with ease. We'll also optimize our indexes. And then to accommodate Per Luxury's growth, we'll show you how to change the partition key, another new feature announced this year. So I know I have some developers here. I'm sure I've got cat lovers. So whether you are one or both, let's dive right in. So I'm going to go over to the Azure portal to get us started. All right. So I already mentioned that Per Luxury's been experiencing rapid growth since its launch. And like many new apps, when they're starting, before they become budding enterprises, it's really difficult to understand or be able to predict the transactional volume that you need. So choosing the serverless capacity mode is a great fit. It was a great fit for us. It allowed us to get some real world data to really be able to estimate those true capacity needs. But now that we've been growing, it's time for us to pivot to accommodate that growth. So we're going to change the capacity mode now from serverless to provisioned. We want to have low latency and great performance for our customers. So today I can do this in the Azure portal by going over to Overview in my account and see I've reclaimed some space here. I don't know if you knew you can do that here by collapsing several of our sidebars, but I can just one click change the capacity mode. And with this confirmation, I'm already on my way to having provisioned throughput. So moving on to accommodate the expansion of the data model. So with the addition of the AR compatible feature that we added to Per Luxury, this necessitates the expansion of the data model. We want to accommodate some new attributes like AR compatibility features, some new attributes for the furniture textures and sizes. So watch as I update our data model right here in the Azure portal. So I'm going to go and first I want to find all my AR compatible products. So my products are brand Q, so I'm going to search for them here, where c.brand equals brand Q. I'm going to hit enter to filter for my products. All right, I've got 3 products that are AR compatible. So I'm going to go over here and grab this new schema, these attributes, and over here, paste them in, Control S, And just like that, everything's been updated. As you can see, there was no downtime required. All right, so we have seamlessly transitioned our capacity mode. We've expanded the data model. It's now time to put these enhancements to work. So because we have these AR compatible features, we really want the customers to easily engage with them on our homepage. So we want to increase the visibility of these new AR compatible products on the homepage. So I'm going to hit Control J because I want to now find all of my AR compatible products, and I'm going to use Query Advisor to do that. So I've got a new query window open right now, and I want to find all of my products that are AR compatible, but they're also recently created, and I want the highest rating because we want these top products on our homepage. So for time here, I've already got my query here in my history. I'm going to hit Enter to run this. And now Query Advisor understands my schema. It also understands the NoSQL syntax. So it makes writing queries really, really efficient. So it's thinking right now. All right. So anytime you're using any AI product, it's always a good idea to check the results before you execute your query. So I see here, I've got my AR compatible true. I've got 5-star ratings. That's my highest rating, and past 6 months. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm going to hit F5 to execute this query. Great. I've got everything that I'm looking for. I'm just going to close this to save some space, and I'm going to close this over here. So when you're writing new queries before you put them into production, it's always a good idea to check out your stats. Particularly, I want to look at my request charges. So I can see my RUs here. RUs are request units, and these are a performance currency used to these are a performance currency that are required to run database operations. So all of your writes, your reads, your queries, all of these operations are measured in RUs. And an easy way I like to think about this is that when you go into an arcade, each game requires a certain amount of tokens. The same works here, that each different type of database operation, it's going to require a different amount of RUs. So as we're doing some testing here, or as you're doing your own testing, if you start to notice that the request charges are going up, this can be indicative of the complexity of the query or the performance of it. So there's several factors that could come into play here. Perhaps we need to optimize our indexing. We've got some improper indexing going on here. Maybe we're scanning a large data set. But I have some ideas, and I think Jasmine also might have some ideas of how we could optimize this query so it's the highest performance before we put it into production. So what do you think, Jasmine? What could we do here?
Yeah, I have a solution here. So as Meredith mentioned, we want to optimize our RU usage before we put this into production. And here we can use the Index Advisor to get some insights here. Now, the way this works, the way that Index Advisor works, it actually analyzes our queries and suggests indexes and optimizations that could reduce the RU consumption that we have. And this makes our application more cost-effective and more performant. So let's dive into our notebook and let's take a look here. So what we're going to do here before we apply this query that Meredith ran in the Explorer is we're going to use a notebook here to experiment with this query with Index Advisor. Now, the reason why I'd want to do that is that Index Advisor is not meant to be something to be deployed in production. It's actually somewhat of a diagnostic tool to use. This is already baked into our SDK. You can see here that I'm using Python and Notebook. And you can see there's the same query that Meredith ran, getting all the AR compatible products here. Now, the way to turn Index Advisor on is by setting the populate index metrics flag to true. And you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and hit execute. And we can see that all of the indexes that Cosmos DB utilize. And by default, Cosmos DB does utilize single indexes for us. But what Query Advisor will do for us is suggest some potential composite indexes. And what I'm seeing here in the results is that Cosmos DB, or the Index Advisor, is suggesting that I add the AR compatible, average rating, and created index composite index. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch over to the portal. And the way that you can adjust your index or your composite indexes is right here under indexing policies in the Data Explorer. You can see I'm here in my products collection here, and I just navigate over to scale and settings to get here. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and bake in those suggestions here. Let me go ahead and paste that from our dashboard. And then I'm going to paste it right in here. And there we go. So I've applied my composite indexes here. And at this point, all I need to do is hit save. And while this is running, we'll give it a moment. And what I should see back in my notebook here is that my application should, specifically my notebook, should get rid of the potential composite indexes I can use because I've applied them. So let's go ahead and hit execute and let's see if it's applied. And we can see that Index Advisor has no more suggestions for us. We've gone ahead and added our composite indexes to really maximize our RU usage. Now, I have another suggestion here, and we're actually going to think about looking at our dashboard here real quickly. So here in our dashboard, we've been tracking our RU consumption, and we, as Meredith mentioned, we've added a lot more products to our collection, specifically ones that are AR compatible, and we've actually also expanded our list of the types of products that we have. And now what I'm looking at here in the metrics, in my metrics dashboard, is that when we added all those additional products, we ran into a big issue here. So essentially one of our partitions here, we can see in our chart here, is being overused. And what we essentially call this is a hot partition. This is not great. This could really cause issues for us in the long run. Now, essentially a hot partition occurs when there's an imbalance in the workload distribution, and it essentially causes one partition to handle more requests than others. And usually the fix to this is to adjust our partition. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go back into my settings here and adjust my partition key. So I'm going to go ahead and click change here. You can see my partition key right now is type. And of course, we can see type is doing, this partition is doing all the work. I'm going to go ahead and click change. And notice that it opens up this blade here, and I actually have to create a new container with the new partition. So I can actually, I can do this in a new container. I can do this in an existing container. And I'll just pick my existing, I could also pick an existing container, but what I'm going to do is just create a new one, and we'll call this products B2. And then I can change the partition key to something else. I think ID would be pretty good here. And then I could click OK. But we've already tested this out, and I actually already have a graph here of what our metrics looks like now. Now this graph might look a little deceiving, right? It's like, okay, where are all the partitions? Well, if you notice in the bottom here, everything is evenly distributed. And that's what we're kind of looking for when we're making an optimization like this. As we can see that all of our partitions are kind of getting the same usage. And we also see that our RU consumption actually went down. So those are my two suggestions that I would say that we could apply to per luxury. So to wrap up this journey, let's talk about what we've done so far. So we witnessed migration magic. We migrated our growing app from a serverless account to a provision account. We evolved our data model to accommodate our new AR features in this new provision throughput model, by the way, that we were able to do seamlessly and switch from serverless to provisioned. And we created precise queries for AR compatible products with Query Advisor. And finally, we added some optimizations with Index Advisor, as well as we were able to go ahead and make some adjustments to our partition by changing the partition key right in the Data Explorer. So thank you so much for following us along. Let us know what you think about the features you've heard about today and learned about today. And we are excited to see what you do and build and optimize. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, everyone. And if you'd like to try Cosmos DB for free, you can visit aka.ms/trycosmosdb. And if you're already a customer, feel free to share any feedback through the feedback icons in the Azure portal. Thanks so much. We look forward to seeing you again soon.